Hi guys, album review time. We've got the band Love in Chains and Everyday Heroes. The band sent me this early. It's out on August the 30th on Idora Entertainment. An American band, man. I love it when American bands bring out great music because I grew up loving America and their music, you know, when I was a kid in the 80s. And that's what these guys do. They bring it all back, but they multiply everything to 11. It is fucking brilliant, this album. So let me talk about the production first. It's from two people called Ty Sims and Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson also does the bass and drums on this album. So I'll get onto the musicianship in a minute, but this album sounds huge. I love it when it just gives you so much power in the music. The drums sound massive, and I talk about drum sound quite a bit, and I want a snare that really hits you hard. That's what it does on this. The guitars cut through perfectly. It almost sounds like it's not overproduced. There's not too many layers. You can hear the guitars really crunching. It's an amazing production, and straight away I noticed that it sounds huge. So let's get onto the music itself. Anthemic, 80s inspired heavy rock and roll here, guys. This is brilliant. The band has cited influences is Kiss, Dokken, Striper and Europe. I mean, man, there's a mix there that I absolutely love. That's some brilliant music there. But I'd also add to that Winger, love Winger, Def Leppard, I would say, a bit of Skid Row. Man, them bands I'm talking about, this is what I'm saying, the people on this channel will love this album because it just gives you everything you want from that period in time, but with a huge production, huge hooks, huge melodies. This is one brilliant band. So in the band, from the band called Steel City, Mike Flores, he's on guitar. Amazing job he does on this album, guys. I mean, there's some amazing guitar work. It's just technical, really melodic. A lot of the time the guitar solo kicks in. The melody line of the song is actually used within the guitar solo, but with some amazing technical stuff either side of it. Just how I like my guitar solos, memorable, absolutely brilliant. On top of that, on the vocals, you've got a brilliant vocalist called Rob Kane. He's got a really great vocal. He soars with the best of them. Just an excellent heavy rock voice. Man, absolutely outstanding. Then you've got, like I said, Eric Johnson, who produced the album on bass and drums. They actually take Mike Cornwall on the bass and Brian Cole on the drums. They take them out on tour with them. I think they've already been playing some gigs, so that's cool. It's a proper band, like I said, they're from the USA, man. And when, you know, they came at us with this music that we hear now, you know, from Sweden and Finland sometimes, all those European countries that are producing, don't get me wrong, some brilliant music, some heavy rock music, that melodic hard rock. This is where it started, guys, in America. And, you know, when a band like this produces a brilliant album with all those hooks and melodies that I want, man, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm there to stand for the USA for sure. So it's brilliant, absolutely superb. So getting on to the songs, guys. You're going to love this. Nearly every song I'm going to talk about. Locked and Loaded starts the album off. Fast, straight out of the gates, attitude-filled rocker. It really does rock hard, guys. A mid-80s Sunset Strip inspired rock and roll track. The guitars are loud, the bass is rumbling, the drums are loud and punchy. Every lyric is spat out with attitude. It's a brilliant opener. Then we get into Less Than Zero. Rock and roll attitude continues. The pace is slowed down into a medium pace track. Thumping bass line with some hung out riffs and gang vocals. Amazing lead guitar work. Technically brilliant. Cherry Wine is track 3, acoustic guitar and vocals start this ballad off. It's just excellent. It's almost got attitude still, even though it's a ballad. Almost a mix of Skid Row, Tesla and Winger, maybe. I know that's a mix and a half, isn't it? But it's very cool. Almost has a sort of southern sort of feel to it as well, as Tesla do on their ballads. Darkness Falls is a single. Lost in the afterglow and not stand alone. Darkness falls, the desolation king. The newest single, actually. What a track. This heavy riffs come in and they're back for this brilliant single release. Classic riffs running through a brilliant heavy rock track. Excellent vocal performance throughout this album, but on this one I really noticed this just sounds excellent. Some brilliant screams as well, so he can hit heights, he's got range. Amazing guitar solo on this one as well, guys, to top off a great track. Everyday Heroes single is next.
With every beat of my heart, I live my own. With every beat of my heart.
I actually reacted to this one, love this song. My first listening to the band, mind-blowing guitar work, great message to the services that lay their lives down for us. So excellent message in the song as well. And this is the song. When I mentioned Winger earlier, this really does remind me of Winger. It's a great track. Rain is the next one. Another thumping heavy rock track. The band are really clever as well, you know, with those backing vocals. I mentioned Def Leppard earlier on. You know, probably the best backing vocals you'd ever get in the 80s. Inspired a lot of bands. Great harmonising on this, or they kick in with gang vocals sometimes on this one. It lifts the track, even though it's a great track anyway. It gives you almost more. Great example of that. It really is. There's another amazing solo as well on this one, guys. The solos are just brilliant. They're so melodic, so memorable, brilliant. Overdose is next. This is a cool, almost ballad track, I would say. Clean guitar sort of work their way through this track with some cool electric guitar picking coming through it as well, coming in and out. Really catchy chorus where the vocals sort of emulate the guitar riff. They sort of follow the guitar riff. It's a great track. Down to the Wire is next. This is a real rocker that is so much fucking fun. We get some brilliant classic heavy rock riffs and cowbell. What more can you want? I mean, it's got everything, this album, so it might as well have cowbell as well. The guys are not ashamed, you know, all the way through this album, but this one really sort of says, hey, you know, the best music was 40 years ago, if you think it is. And we're going to just play that sort of music. We're going to give you everything you want from that era, but with a huge production and make it sound like one of the best productions you've heard. So Down to the Wire, amazing track. Track 9 is Without You, and the great music just keeps coming. A brilliant medium-paced riffy track that again gives me slight Winger vibes, I would say. A Def Leppard-esque backing vocal chorus tops off a fucking cool track. And of course, another amazing guitar solo. Next up, they do a cover version of Love Gun. I was wondering when I was looking down the track listing, is it going to be Love Gun? You know, the Kiss song, obviously. And yes, it is. It's a great cover, actually. There's sort of a load of energy infused into this track. And I think that's brought on by the production and the musicianship, obviously. A very cool cover. And then we finish off with Wildfire, a great galloping heavy rock track in the verses. I love the groove on this track. Brilliant heavy track that is just brimming with confidence from this great band. And the solo, just brilliant. Again, I know I've mentioned that a lot, but almost a homage to what we loved about 80s guitar heroes. And that goes for every solo on this album. And I know I've mentioned it a couple of times, but the bass and the drums, not just the sound on this album, they're played brilliantly. It's really stomping. It's just everything you want. A great rhythm section to back up the other great musicians in this band. So brilliant job done by Eric Johnson, who also produced this album, of course, with Ty Sims. It's amazing stuff, guys. You're going to love this. A lot of the people who watch this channel, like me, a bit older, love their 80s music. This gives you everything you want from that. It really does. All those bands I've spoken about, Kiss, Dokken, Stryper, Europe, Def Leppard, Skid Row, Winger. Infuse all that together, then you've got Love in Chains. You're going to love this, guys. See you soon.